Come on, Craig. Good to see you.
What's going on, Cam? What's going on? Going on?
Man, back from out on the vacation, but back on it now.
There you go. Where'd you go, real quick?
We went to Bora Bora. Little,
Woo!
it was a good time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Well, I guess I'm going to be in your state in a little over a month.
Yeah. Are you coming down for EXPCon?
Yeah, 26th. Flying
Yep.
on the 26th. Coming in hot.
Let's go. Let's go. That's gonna be
Billy's
fun.
coming in hot. Yeah. So, oh man, today's gonna be fun talking about how I guess got a lot of things going on. See who's on. I know that unfortunately, Bridget's under the weather. We're sending her our prayers and her, woke up this morning not feeling good in California, but and then I think Mitch gets a vocal cord operation, Mark.
Yeah, that's what he was telling me. I think he's got
Yeah.
something going on where they're gonna have he can't talk for a few days or something. That's gonna be tough for him.
Yeah. Well, he hasn't really talked for the past 8 weeks. He's been
Yeah, no, he's
writing
been
things, so which is tough for Mitch. So, hey everybody, reach out, text Mitch, whatever it might be. Tell him, send him prayers. He's getting an operation tomorrow on his vocal cords. He won't be able to talk for another week or 10 days, but that's why he's been missing on here. Not that he doesn't love you, not that he's been traveling. He just hasn't been able to talk. So send him love, send him all the kudos you can, the energy. He needs to get it. And guess what? When he comes back, I'm going to say it now, Mitch. You're not going to shut up. It's okay. We love you and we miss you, brother. Can't wait to hear you sing. You'll sound a little raspy like me.
That's good. That's good. That's true. He will.
Talk about raspy coming in from California hot.
Good morning. Good morning.
There you go. There you go. All right. So right now it's the three of us. I don't know whether Tracy's going to make it. I know Bridget's not. I know. I think Pete's going to jump on. I think. But today's going to be technology and how you're using it to speed things up. I think that was the conversation. So there's a lot to throw out there. You know, so we can kind of keep it moving from person to person to person. And then at the end, what do you think? We do something fun again?
I love it.
Absolutely. Craig, what kind of question is that? I mean, there's no
Of course.
holiday, there's no holiday going on today, but or this weekend, I don't think, but
No. Hey, I'll be honest with you guys. In 3 hours from now, I'm teeing off. So you guys can do whatever you want. Remember, it's lunchtime here. It's going to be 12 o'clock your time.
okay.
So we got Brian Yarborough coming in hot, but he thinks he's Randy. It's okay. It's okay. So you're not fishing today? No, I'm kidding.
No.
Whoa! Who is this man? You can't talk, you can only type. We were just talking about you. We were wishing you well tomorrow, and I was telling everybody to send you kudos. And all of a sudden you show up. It's like
Well, I can't. You're right. I can't talk. Listen to my voice. Isn't this terrible?
Oh
you're
my
hanging
God.
out with me from Philly too much.
But you still got a smile on your face.
Always. Andrea couldn't get it, so I'm trying to get this thing launched.
There you go. All right. Well, figure it this way. You're like the genie that just imagined and popped up. You'll have plenty of time to catch up with us in a little bit. So we're about 3 after. We're going to give 2 more minutes, and we're going to let the rest of the panels get in. We got everybody starting to say, hi, Mitch. Hi, Mitch. How you doing? Let's go. Got some chats going. Don't forget, if you're chatting hosts, make sure you put everyone. Don't just do hosts and panelists. Got Mary Ann saying hi. You're Canada, right, Mary Ann? Am I right remembering? There we we got Matty Battiata coming in off the surfboard. Yeah, Calgary, see? My old mind remembers, Mayor. Matty's out there on the surfboard, punching sharks, grabbing fish, bringing them in, grilling them on the beach. We got Yarborough in there fighting with the bears for the salmon, swimming uphill. We had Cameron motorcycle jumping over stuff. We got Masa out there running a great food truck, making tacos to masa. And we got Mitch, the I Dream of Genie, coming out of the Genie spot today. Hot tea, of course, with Jack Daniels, coming in from Peggy. Love that, Peg. Love that. There you go. Or I know that Pete's team likes to do tea all the time and Bailey's. So if you're ever at a convention, grab his tea. He's something usually at a time.
Tea and Bailey's is where it's at. It'll set you free. Craig Lurch. Tea and Bailey's will set you free. Just remember that.
What was that, Tia?
Tea and Bailey's will set you free.
There you go. There you
That's
go.
the deal.
See, again, we said
Sticking
somebody's
to it.
name and they appeared. We got to watch what we wish for here. Who's going to appear? Who do we want to appear? We can say their name next. Oh,
Mitchie.
Ross and Tracy.
My voice is a little challenged today. I've got something similar going on to what Mitch has. So
It
I'm gonna
must
have
be
to be
something with
brief.
ball guys. Ball guys must have a problem with their voice at times, you know. It's
I
called
just have a cold. That's all.
Well, stay in the screen then. Don't come and see us.
Hey, quick tip for you guys. If you're not feeling well, the liquid IV bags, if you guys have never tried them, man, they changed my life. Like, do them when you start feeling like really sick, and it's almost like 24 hours you start feeling better, or at least I do. So liquid IV bags, you can get them. They even do them in person or in your house here in Florida. So
Well,
Yeah,
I like that.
what? How much? Or like $200 or $150?
yeah, like $250, I think.
That was a great
Guess what?
plug
It's
for
great for a
IV bags.
hangover.
I like that.
It's also great for a hangover. Just call me. You're right back to where you're at.
Yeah, we're gonna have IV bags set up for Miami for EXPCon. Who's going to EXPCon in Miami, October 27th to the 30th? All right. All the people on the call, you should be looking at that not only to inspire your business, but take your business to the next level. I guarantee you it's worth every stretch, every penny that you have to spend to get there. It will get you on the right track and it will pay out dividends going to EXPCon. So make sure you get your ticket today and go to it. It's our national convention that we have once a year, and it's super important to be there. You get to hang out with rock stars like Mitch Ribak. He won't speak too much. He's using sign language. Matt Battiato will be there, so you get to hang out with him. And the beautiful part of it is if you sit near those two guys at the pool, you get a lot of sun. There's a lot of reflection off them, right? So you'll tan really easy. Gary Massa will be there. I don't know if Brian's going. Lurchy's going, I'm going, Randy's going, Cam's going. So all of us will be there, you guys, in person. We're definitely going to throw an event while we're there, and we want everybody to show up and have fun and be positive. It's a positive convention. It's not a negative convention. This is a positive, safe space, as you say, in real estate, and it's going to be great. So that's my plug for EXPCon.
Yeah, I mean, you'll be motivated. Everyone is. Heck, doesn't matter how long you've been doing this. You come away, you get surrounded by people like us that are wanting to do it, that are on fire. At least for me, it puts me back on fire if I'm kind of feeling.
The other thing I want to just add, thank you for saying that, Cam, is, you know, if you're on the fence or you're having a tough economic time, you know, there's moments in life that define your breakthroughs. And I think this is one of those moments to spend that money and be there. I've been in that position before in the past. I know that may be surprising, but when I invested in myself, and that's what this is, it's an investment in yourself, your future self. I think it's super important to be there and take it all in, make connections, get I mean, the last one I went to, I get 3 referrals. So it paid it 3 times over. And I think that's a big thing. And I always get great tips that I can put into action for not only myself, but my team. And it's a great setup. It really is.
Pete, can I add something? I mean, there's a lot of conventions you go to and you listen to a lot of different stuff, but even the big speakers, they're not just real estate speakers that come in, they're all kinds of speakers. But one of the things that through 38 years of business, there's a lot of times you go and you just hear people preaching. One thing that EXP does is the people that are teaching are the people that are in the trenches. They're not saying something that you're not doing. They're not reaching, not doing the object. They might be doing more business. They might be doing it over here, over there. The difference is they're in the trench still. They're dealing with that phone call that's pissing them off when they're out there. They're dealing with those things. So it's not just somebody in some white ivory tower that's saying, oh, do this, do that. No, these are people that are dealing with what you're dealing in the common world today, which is huge. So when you come home, you're not just making your drawers rich with information that they gave you. You're actually using information that they're sharing passionately from their heart. So this is a different way of learning. Loved it. It was on fire. Every time I come back, I'm fired up, and I always have ideas. If you don't come back with ideas, it's because you didn't go to enough stuff, you didn't ask enough questions, and you lived in judgment versus curiosity. End of story. That's my story.
I love that. That's awesome. Okay, let's get into our topic today. I'm going to put it on Mitch because I've been traveling. I didn't see the topic, I have to admit. So it's tough for me to introduce it. Mitchie, this is when you get to use your limited voice, I guess, and share with everybody what the topic is today and where we're
Let me
going.
see if I talk from my diaphragm, I can push it out. I think we're talking about tech tools today, what you're using in tech to help your business.
Okay, excellent. So if you didn't understand Mitch, because he sounds like he's speaking a foreign language, it's tech tools that you use to help your business and what you should be leveraging right now in this type of market. I'm going to start off with Cam Smith, the babyface wonder, and see what he's using because he is the youngest on the call, which means he's definitely using the most technology. Cam, what do you feel that people should be using right now? What has benefited your business?
So yeah, this is good topic, right? This is tech in today's real estate, how to make ourselves more productive so we can sell more houses. That's the idea, right? You're using tech to be more productive. What I can tell you is that tech isn't going to replace the work in this business. It just won't. No matter how hard you try, the tech could or will help you generate more leads. It will help you streamline the process of the admin duties when you're doing them yourselves. It'll do a lot of things for us, and it does. And those are the things that we are using it for and our agents are using it for. It's to streamline the processes. It's not necessarily to revolutionize your business, because the reality is, you guys, the key aspect of all of this, which in reality it's a sales business still, is the calling, it's the connections, it's the talking with people about real estate, and tech can't do that. That's the good part. The good part is we won't be replaced by tech because it simply cannot do that as hard as it tries. But let's jump into what tech is good for and what we're using. I'm going to touch a little bit on ChatGPT because I actually have a PDF that I'm going to link in the chat here, which is fantastic. But ChatGPT, obviously, it is it's a text generator. It allows the people, you and I, agents, to use a single source to source throughout the entire internet and build a typically a very well worded, very well written description or text kind of generation. And it's something that we use for a lot of things, like our social media posts, like our listing descriptions, like our brainstorming ideas, like a lot of our teams are trying to do as markets are continuing to shift. Well, it's a great avenue to ask, things like ChatGPT, what are different avenues that we can use in our real estate business to generate leads or to find, people that are looking to buy or sell, people that are looking to possibly purchase or move into our area, right? So there's multiple uses for ChatGPT. I'm going to link the PDF that I have here that really digs into stuff. Now, you guys, ChatGPT is amazing, but it's all what you make it. So the more you learn about it, the more that you can use it. And that's what this PDF is really for. So I'm putting that here in the chat, and I want everyone to download it, and I want you guys to go through it. It's only a few page document, but it really it's something that I know for a fact that if you use it, it's valuable. So I'm posting that here, guys. Give me just a second if I can find it. It is called ChatGPT. There it is. Okay, so I just posted that there. So the other tech we're using, you guys, and this is really important because we do a lot of social media stuff, and social media, for everyone that's doing it right now on the call, I'm sure a lot of you are doing it or you're trying to do more of it. The thing that you find is that it is very time consuming. So I'm going to give you guys a huge nugget here, and it's a program that's called Opus, OPUS. I'm going to drop my link here so you guys can look at that. But what this program does, you guys, is it takes video recordings that you make. So say that you're recording stuff and you're doing a video on one of your hottest new neighborhoods in the area, because honestly, that's what people want to know. And if they're looking for your area and they're on social media and they're looking for real estate, they're looking for ideas, they're looking for neighborhoods, they're looking for communities. They want that kind of information. So I know a lot of agents out there are doing that. But this program here, Opus, what it does is it allows you to take that long content that you made about the whole community. Maybe it's a 15 or 20-minute video where you showed off the cool, the cool community center, the cool pool, all of that stuff. And what this program does is it automatically breaks it down into 30 or 45-second clips. It focuses on what typically people want to look at in the video or whatever the content is that you're watching there, and it creates short form content from your long form videos, which for everyone that's doing long form content, it takes a lot of time. And then trying to break that down and repurpose that, you literally could spend all day long just doing content. So using Opus, you guys, it allows you to break that down automatically, and it's really a phenomenal program. I use it. Shoot, I probably jump on Opus 2 or 3 times a day just to make sure that any new content that I want to get sent out or anything that I want to be posted is done, and it's done automatically. So you're able to build unlimited content from what you've already recorded, what you've already done, and you're able to do that automatically. So Opus is absolutely fantastic, you guys. It's one of something that like I said, I use all the time. It's something that is extremely effective if you are building social media content and you're trying to streamline the process. Again, tech, you guys, it's not going to fix, it's not going to recreate the wheel, but it is able to streamline it. And for things like social media, this is one of the big ones. The other one that I've been using that I really, really like, you guys, is called Captions. Now, Captions originally started out as a just a captions app. So it would add captions to whatever video you had posted, which at the time was great because it was kind of challenging to manually add, each word under your video when you were talking or when you were doing dialogue videos. And that's how we used to do it. So Captions started off as a way to, add captions. They've went way beyond that now. So now you can actually use Captions to create entire ads, like human face generated ads. Are they perfect? Not yet, but I will tell you that I've created quite a few ads on there that you could not tell aren't real people. And you can tell them to say whatever you want them to say. And it really is a fantastic AI tech tool for creating more content without you literally having to sit down, write your own script, have the camera set up, have all the lights set up, and record yourself. You're able to use this AI technology to create these ads for you. So another really cool tool, and I'm going to send the link there for that one too here in just a second. I'm just trying to find it. But those are 2 big tools that we're using in terms of tech that really has streamlined the social media aspect. Now, one thing that I think most of everyone in here, what do we got? We got, I think most of everybody, we almost 80 people in here. I think most everyone here is, here with EXP. But the other thing that I wanted to briefly touch on, because I know we got a bunch of people that want to talk, but one of the tools that really streamlined my business when I joined here many years ago was the SkySlope. So I know that's kind of a basic tech system, but SkySlope, you guys, it's incredible. Being able to have all your transactions in one place. Now they even have all the forms in one place. For everyone that uses it, I know this is nothing new for you guys, but having all the forms, all the transactions, it auto-fills all the data for you. It makes sure that you're not missing any signatures. It has been amazing in terms of tech, just something that's provided for us. And it's something that we use in every transaction. I love it, you guys. So that's another tool that if you're not already using it, not already part of it, it would really benefit your business. I can guarantee it, just having that organization. So those are my big ones. I'm going to post that link. I'm just grabbing it here. And then I'll send that out in the chat.
All right, great stuff. So Opus, OPUS, was the big tip by Cam Smith, the baby face wonder down there in Florida. Let's go over to Brian Yarber. I know Brian always has a lot of great tips on what he's using to stay in contact with people. Because listen, you guys, contacts equal contracts. That's the key, is you have to get back to people. Right now, a lot of people looking for information. We just had a 0.5-point rate drop. They're trying to understand how that's going to affect the market. We all know that was already predetermined or cooked into the market, but the general public doesn't. It's creating a certain psychology and excitement, and I think you have to know how to explain that. But by using technology, you can stay in front of people, which means if you're in front of people, you're top of mind. When you're not in front of people, they forget you. So, Brian, what are you using for technology to stay in front of past clients and people you've worked with in the past?
Thanks, Pete. I use this. It's called my cell phone. That's my biggest piece of technology, other than the brain that God gifted me with. That's my biggest piece of technology, right? I'm engineered to have a brain that makes business sense. So let me share with you guys. I'm going to combine last week's topic with the technology topic. Last week, it was staying motivated during slowdowns. and how you use technology today to speed things up a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to give you just one tip. I'm going to stay focused on this because I can't wait to hear everybody else's, but this is what I've done for almost 40 years now. This is the time of year. This is a season when we're coming into a season in most of your cities, there's snow, there's rain, there's other climates that you guys have to deal with if you're not in Southern California where I am. So I have business and golf all year round here. And so do the people in Florida. But most of you who are watching this are probably in tough weather cities and states. So here's how I stay motivated and how I use technology to do at least 1 or 2 extra deals every year during the fourth quarter. So the technology is this. I use the MLS first. And what I do is I understand what's going on in my marketplace and I try to find good deals. Then I go out and I actually preview property. Can you believe it? I use my car, I get in my car, I use my lockbox, and I go out and I find a deal that I get so excited about that I can't hold it in. And then I take my phone and I call all my past clients looking for not them to buy the good deal, looking for them to give me the name and a number of a person I've never met before who is looking for a good deal. Does that make sense? So here's an example. Hey, Cam, it's Brian Yarber. I was out previewing property today. I got so excited. I saw this property. I thought I'd call you. I know you're not in the market for another property, but let me ask you, Cam, who do you know? Who do you know that might be looking for a below market value property in Granite Hills? It's a great deal. It's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath. It just hit the market. It's got a little sweat equity built into it. I love it. I personally would buy it if I was in the market for a house right now. But is there anybody you can think of that would want to know about a great deal in Granite Hills? And I get.
You said it's like, Brian, you said a little bit of sweat equity and you'd buy it yourself.
I would. Yeah.
You know, like you said, I'm not really interested, but man, maybe I want to look at it, but I'm sure I can find something. Yeah, darn, I might want to buy it myself. Let's go look at it.
Awesome. And if you didn't want to buy it, let's just say you shared a friend with me. Cam, would it be okay if I told Joe Smith that you said it's okay to call him?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So what I would do is call Joe Smith. Hey, Joe, this is Brian Yarber talking to Cam the other day. He was saying, hey, if you need a good deal, I should probably run this by you. So what happened is I did this every year. Now, here's the deal. Who here is an entrepreneur and not pulling a paycheck with a W-2? All right, good. We're all in the same boat. We're entrepreneurs. I like to give myself a raise going into the holidays. I like to call this my raise opportunity. I've always done this. I've done this for 40 years. You guys have been in the business since 1985. I learned real quickly that if I didn't give myself a raise, no one was going to give me one. So I had to go out and earn one. And so I use this strategy and I have done deals and deals and deals. My fourth quarter history over the last decades has always been my best because my mindset is now excited about what the market is that I'm looking at, because there's nothing, doesn't matter. If you look in the MLS, you're going to find sales, you're going to see pending properties. Good news. That means there's people buying and selling still. It only takes one good seller and one good buyer in any marketplace. And so if you do this, what you will learn is Cam's going to introduce me to somebody he thinks is wealthy, wealthier than him to buy an investment property in that marketplace. If you call in somebody in La Jolla, California, which is a high-end market, and I know Pete's done this many times, naturally, he doesn't even do this on purpose. He does it naturally, is you call people when you see a great deal. Hey, who do you know is looking for an oceanfront property that's in a $10 million marketplace for under 10 million? It's like 7.5. It's a steal. A steal, 7.5. You will get a name and a number of somebody. I guarantee you, if you make enough calls, usually it's within the first 5, maybe 10 at the most, you will get a new name and a new number of a person using your phone and this type of technology. This is called excitement. The excitement in you is going to make the deal. And that's what I got.
I love that. Yeah, you have to treat that excitement, you guys. You know, selling is not telling, selling is explaining, especially in this market. You have to explain and help people visualize where it could take them on their path, on their journey. And that's really, really important. You have to find the motivation right off the bat, but you have to create the excitement. Like Brian said, I do that all the time. I'm not saying this with any ego. I call people all day long and I text them all day long, and I don't share a lot of details. I just say, call me right away. It's super important. Or I really, really, really need your your help or need you to respond to me quickly on this one. And I create urgency. Urgency and FOMO are the most two important aspects to the type of market we're in right now. Make no mistake about it. And like I said, selling is not telling, selling is explaining. Selling is getting people there. Selling is mapping out where they can go and how to get there and really explain to them. I have a guy coming in tomorrow who is looking to do a 1031 exchange. And I've called him 4 times, right? I'm almost like a stalker went online after this guy, but I finally just said to him, why don't we do this? I have a great idea, Brian. Why don't you just come in tomorrow and I'll take care of everything and we can do this together. That's how important this opportunity is, because it's going to be a legacy opportunity for you and your family. And what do you want your legacy to be? Have I ever led you wrong? You know, this is one of those opportunities that hardly ever comes up. This may be one opportunity in your lifetime to change the path of where your family is going. That's it. That's very powerful. What's somebody going to say? No? You guys, I'm Bostonian. I'll drive them crazy. I can't even speak English the right way, right? Mitch knows. We just keep calling people. I'm not attached to the result. Just remember that. I'm attached to the journey. I'm attached to the relationship, not the result. So that's super important. You know, keep putting yourself out there. Keep reaching out to people. Don't get scared. They're not going to get mad. Trust me. Let me know the last time somebody reached out to you with an opportunity for you to make money and you got upset with them. And if they did, guess what? Who cares? Lose their number then. You don't want to work with those people anyways. There's a million people out there and they're all trying to figure out which ends up and how to do it. And most of them don't understand it. Let's go over to Craig Lurchie. All right. The ROG, the real estate opportunity guy out of Philly. Look at, if you didn't, he's never seen a cheesesteak he didn't like. I love it. Lurchie, tell me what type of technology you're using. You always have cool stuff that you're using with your VAs to stay in front of your people. How are you staying in front of your people and how are you getting opportunities in front of them?
First of all, I got to tell you, what Cam just said is awesome. I've already sent it to my VAs and gone from there. 2.5 years ago, or 1.5 years ago, when I was at EXP in Las Vegas, I walked by a room called Sphere Rocket. And Jeremy was speaking. And I said, I don't want to stand in there. I stood in there for 5 minutes and I left. 6 months later, I did it again. Or 2 years later, or another year later, I did it again. Guess what? The best thing I ever did, reach into technology. Technology is a matter of getting somebody to help you leverage your time. We cannot do that. If you don't need to have a personal EA like I do, or Pete has Dre and stuff, but you can get VAs that are somewhere else, working your hours at $5 to $8 an hour, that you can get to do everything. They can do everything. They can do your bookkeeping. They can do your social media. They can do your SkySlope. They can do your agreements of sale. I talk through WhatsApp. I leave Fona or Vicky a message saying, hey, look, I needed a buyer agency contract sent to me now, and I needed sent in DocuSign sent to so-and-so. Boom, boom, boom. I'm getting ready to meet him in an hour. I need that signed before I see him. And guess what? I'm not at the computer. They know how. I taught them how to type it. They type it, they send it, it goes on. What did that do for me? They're a person, but they're using technology that I can't get to and that I don't know how to use. Cam was talking about that SkySlope. I've been using Zip Forms and DocuSign and then loading it in the SkySlope. For 3 years now, I've been fighting using the DigiSign. My VAs a month ago came to me and said, another piece of technology, you are going to use DigiSign, because as we do it, it loads right into the files we're working on, and we don't need to be at 4 different places looking for stuff that you didn't send us. And I said, I'm not doing that. They said, good, we're not processing your files. So guess what I had to learn? Unbelievable. Go learn it. If I can do it after 38 years in the business and these big Pauls, and I peck at typing, you can do it. Another piece of technology, the SkySlope, get a VA, Sphere Rocket. Jeremy's awesome. The other thing that I learned, and we've talked about it, whatever CRM you use, learn to drive it like a freaking Ferrari. Don't drive it like a Datsun B210. I know a lot of you don't know what a Datsun B210 is, but an old car that's a beater, okay? Learn to drive it the way it's supposed to be driven, and it will take you places. There's marketing, there's ads in there, there's follow-up in there, there's categories in there. But learn to do it or get your VA to do it. I've learned so much because I've got my VA to do it. Now she's teaching me how to put the information in, and it's fantastic. Or if you don't want to do that, go into the marketplace within KV Core, and for $199, you can have somebody set up your campaigns. So the excuses aren't there. You can't make them anymore. They're all dollar productive. They're all there. I don't care what CRM you have, use it. So SkySlope, KV Core, get a VA. The other thing that we've been dealing with, because it all helps with the final piece I'm going to give you, is now what we're doing is how we're staying in touch. We use Thanks.io. We use 6x9 postcards. We have these 6x9 postcards. I'll be driving down the street, and if I see a dumpster, I call my VA and say, hey, by the way, send a dumpster postcard. It reads, 50% of the people with a dumpster are thinking about selling. Call me. I can sell it without even going to the market maybe, or buy your home cash. Boom, 91 cents, it's mailed that day. So you can do all those things that instantly. Here's the kicker. Get everybody's anniversary. Even if you're brand new in a business, go back to everybody you know who bought a home, your aunt, your uncle, your cousin. Find out their anniversary when they bought it. 83% of the agents don't follow up with them. Put their anniversary in the Thanks.io 7 days before their anniversary date. An anniversary card will be sent to them. Don't send the ones, I don't use the ones that have the envelopes, people throw them out. I use postcards because as they go through the postcards, everybody gets to see it. So anniversaries and birthdays automatically, Thanks.io, they're sent out, 91 cents. It's off your plate. Get your VA to set it up. Hire a VA, even if it's part-time for 10 hours a week. You can afford to do it, because if not, you are the VA. You're not doing what we talk about, DPAs, dollar productive activities. What are your best dollar productive activities? Figure it out, write them down, eliminate the rest, and that's your technology. All there. Hopefully you got something out of that one.
Love it. Hey, Lurchy, I want to follow up with a question.
Yep.
So on your postcards, everything you do, what does it have on there? Does it have a
Everything.
QR code? What does it have on there?
It has the QR code on there. It has all my stuff, whether I'm an Icon, luxury, and it's specific. Wherever I send it to, I make it for the neighborhood, like selling your Glenside home or selling your Rider home. I constantly change that all the time, okay? We always have what's your home worth. We actually put these QR codes on front yards where we have signs. We also do a lot of things with our clients, like the best margaritas. So we'll send QR codes to our mailing list. What are the best margaritas to make in the summer? Top 25. So I know if they're clicking because they're coming through my stuff. And then we're doing bullet points on the back. People don't want to read a lot of words. We're doing bullet points. Like this one says, no open house, no sign, no inspection, sell as is, any condition, settle when you want to, get the price you want. Boom.
It sounds very Brian Moses like.
Exactly, Brian Moses like. Exactly. Did it. Here. Another one. Scan to get the best rib recipe.
Oh, I love ribs.
Just make it to do something different, but use the cards and consistently do them. They're 91 cents. Get your sphere of influence and just send to them. My guys get beat up. And then also MailChimp, we all do that. You
can use real marketing for that. Lurchy, can you drop some of those in the chat so people can see examples? And guys, I'll drop in the number for Dakota at Real Marketing. You can set it up where if we get a whole catalog going with these calls to action postcards, I'm telling you, direct mail works. I know a lot of times people sit there and say, oh, well, it costs a lot or this or that. If you look at legends like Dave Lawson and Matt Battiata and Gary Massa and all the other people on this call, everyone is doing consistent direct mail, especially you guys.
Exactly what you said. This happened. I was with the people yesterday. I mailed to, I think the cost is $400, whatever it might be. Every 3 weeks, we're doing it in this marketplace. We got a guy to call us. We're going to list the house for $1.5 million. Let's talk about this. In 12 months, we spent $5,000. How would you like me to hand you I'll take $5,000 to get 25,000 back every time. Matter of fact, 38,000 with my full boat because I'm not counting the other 500 all day long. You'll spend 5 to get 38 all day long. You would bet that in Bet 365, wouldn't you? You'd bet that at GMC, whatever. You would do it if you had those kinds of odds that I'm getting that back. Sure, you would. So do the same damn thing. Just do it. That's the problem. The daily productive activities. Delegate it to somebody, get it done. I'll try to find Pete.
I love the DPA. I mean, DPA. He always has a great acronym. Have you guys noticed that? The ROG has great acronyms. The DPA, Dull Productive Activities. I like that. All right, let's move over to Dave, the Luxury Lawson. There he is. He's off the slopes, you guys. I don't know if there's still snow in Park City. He might have been on his mountain bike, but he cruised right into our meeting. Dave, what type of technology are you guys using right now that's crucial to stay in front of clients?
Well, we're doing a lot of things. We're doing the RM marketing, but you know, a lot of what I'm doing has already been said. We have a VA that we've had now for 3.5 years, and we call her our client care manager. And she can do so many things that you guys have talked about. But the one thing that she does for me is she goes at the end of every week. I think we have 32 listings right now, and she goes and she looks at how many people, you know, through eXp Luxury, who, you know, and makes a snapshot, and how many views have we got on Zillow or Realtor.com, and how many showings did we get, and how many, you know, what ads have we run, or what marketing pieces, or what social media, and she puts it into an email. And that's why we call her our client care manager. And for what we get out of that, first of all, is the first thing is the sellers, believe it or not, they sometimes get overwhelmed because she sends so much, but she has, you know, what I say all the time, Pete, is one timing, right? Does everybody know what one timing is? Set something up one time really, really well, and then do it over and over and over and over again, and it saves you a lot of time. So she just has templates, and she pulls something up, clicks copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste, sends it to our people. And the other thing is that what we do when we're taking listings is, I believe that what we get paid and how many listings we take are in direct proportion to how many or what our service is. And if you have somebody like this, it's a client care manager, you offer more services. And at the end of the day, you just say, oh, you're interviewing other people? Great. If you need to know, we say, you know, somewhere around 85% of the people are dissatisfied with their agent because they don't get too much communication. And I can tell you, we could have a communication problem as well. And the problem that we're going to have with you is we're going to give you too much communication. And so if you're going to be talking to other agents, you just got to find out. I mean, there's too many of here's the acronym, 3P agents, you know, put a sign in the yard, place it on the MLS, put a sign in the yard, and pray somebody brings a buyer. And we're completely different from that. The other thing that we do is we are always trying to show what we do differently. Whether it's working with a buyer, what are the things that we do differently? If you're working with a seller, what are the things that we do differently? You know, what I love with Pete helping me get into eXp Luxury and become one of the luxury ambassadors is the marketing that we do, and the Wall Street Journal and Robb Report and Upmarket, and you know, on and on and on. There's 8 or 9, and they get that report every single week. And the other thing is, if you're advertising in eXp Luxury, but you're not giving the views and the information to your client, it has zero value, right? Well, I don't have time to do those things. I have another acronym, just like the ROG, right? It's the plan, the PLAN, right? So I try to focus the vast majority of my day on having a plan. What is that? P is for prospecting, L is for lead follow-up, A is for appointments with buyers or sellers, and N is for negotiating. So you see, those are I just wrote it down, those are the DPAs, dollar producing activities. Those are what I call income producing activities. I tell people all the time, there's 100 things to do in real estate. Yes or yes? Yes, right? There's only 4 that make you money. So who's going to do those other 96 things? And that's where we bring in and we have other people. And the amount, I mean, and she's so good. And I had my transaction coordinator train her, and it was unbelievable. I just can't tell you how good it can be. And then we've even had another one who helped us with marketing, and now I'm looking into having someone take over the books for the company because I think I can do it for about 20% of the cost. So that's what I have for today.
I love that. And you know, Dave will be speaking on one of the luxury panels on how to take more listings at EXPCon. So for that alone, you should be attending EXPCon. Just see a rock star like Dave there giving his best tips. Because here's the thing with Dave. He's selfless. He doesn't hold back. He shares with you all his experience over the last 35 years, what he's doing to take 100 luxury listings every year. And his team is consistently one of the top teams in the world. So if you can't learn from a guy like that, you need to reassess what you're doing and turn your brain on, because he can make it happen. All right, let's go over to the guy that missed his opportunity with tortilla chips online, Gary Massa. I told him to do that a long time ago. He loves Mexican food. He missed the opportunity. Somebody else put out Massa chips, and he's kicking himself now. So now he has to sell more real estate. Gary, what type of technology are you using to stay in front of your clientele, especially your sphere of influence? I want you to talk about how you're getting repeat business from your sphere of influence, because you're really great at that, and what technology you're using to do that.
Yeah, so I'm going to take a slightly different, angle at it, but real estate that is all about systems, right? Freeing up your time to be able to prospect, to be able to execute your plan like David's talking about. There's a million things to do in real estate. When you have lots of transactions going on or other things going on, you have to have systems in place to help you free up that time. And so in terms of developing that sphere of influence and that repeat business, let's start it back during that transaction with those clients, right? We want to really elevate the level of experience that they have, so they're A, willing to refer you, B, they want to come back for next time. So some of the systems that, or the technologies that I'm going to bring up, again, a lot of the things that I would be doing to stay in front of my clients have already been mentioned. So I'm going to introduce a couple other things. So one of the systems that we're using in terms of checklists and making sure the business is structured is Cognito Forms. I don't know if anybody is familiar with that, but we use Cognito Forms for other agents to submit their offers. So we have the breakdown of the offer, who's it coming from, all the files are there, so our team can break those down pretty easily. We use those for checklists going into reviewing the properties, for showings, for a lot of different other things that we do within the business to make sure that that's happening the same way every single time. Highnote, in terms of presentations, is anybody using Highnote? So Highnote's basically like a little mini website that you can set up really easily, plug in all the different pieces of any presentation, whether it's submitting a buyer offer, your listing presentation, buyer presentations, and or introductory presentations. We use them in a lot of different ways, but you can add a video, to the front, like, hey, putting a face with the name. Here's our listing or buyer presentation. Here's a few things you need to know. We use them for for doing home valuation reports and submitting the home valuations to our new leads. Again, you set that up one time basically, and then you just change a couple of the specific information for that client. And then they get a really nice website that they can open up, easily see your videos and all the different documents that go along in that. Definitely sets you apart. Again, buyers submitting offers as well as listing presentations and getting to meet people. Flipping Book is one thing that we use as well for our holding our presentations. It's like a nice magazine style, digital magazine style piece. Again, I shared our listing presentation with everybody a couple of weeks ago, but we use Flipping Book in a lot of different ways. Again, it's housing the information so you don't have to go back and redo it every single time. You just get to grab it and go. That's part of your system. We also use, we're also using Google Slides to create little mini websites as well. Like for us, we just created the hub for our team. Houses all of our trainings, all of our different tech sites and different tools that we're using as a team. So we don't have to go through and search for, anything that we need throughout the process, whether it's through a transaction, working with a client, and or working through our lead generation systems. Everything is right there, so you're not wasting the time. I think the point is, we talked about using our CRMs to follow up and make sure that we're structuring our follow-up campaigns in there, reminding us of birthdays, anniversaries, and actually when it's time to follow up with our clients. All of these tools and technologies are put into place to free up time, so then we have to spend more time with that client. If in the back office is set up and systemized, and I'm not having to go back and monitor, everything, spend time on pushing a transaction through, I can spend more time with that client, more valuable time, talking to them, addressing their needs, and working with that client to develop that later on referral, because they're seeing how much attention I'm able to give them throughout the process, and they can talk about that experience with their friends. But if I'm, running around in circles trying to figure out what to do next, how to get them feedback on their, on their showings, how to help walk them through the escrow process and inspections and whatever the case, I'm not able to spend that time with them being cool, calm, and collected and giving them a great experience. So for me, I love systems. I love the organization process of it. It helps me not lose my mind and feel super overwhelmed. And it helps me give a better experience to the client throughout the process when we're working together, which in turn has, delivered more referrals and repeat business, because no matter how much, I'm investing into new leads or online lead generation or whatever the case, still 80% of my business every single year has come from repeat and referrals. And no matter how hard I try to change that ratio, it doesn't. So that's really where, a lot of the business comes from. You got to focus on it. So I hope that helped, Pete.
That was great, Masa. I love it. You'll get yourself in a casa with Masa. That's great. Let's go to Randy Zimnich. Randy, what type of technology are you using to get in front of repeat clients and investors that you are typically helping? I know you're nationwide, and I want everybody to listen to the tips that Randy gives, because Randy is one of the only ones on here that takes past clients and sphere of influence and leverages it every year where they're doing multiple transactions, right? So Randy, what are you using to stay in front of those types of people?
Yeah, so I run a mastermind for the local investors in Southern California. I've been doing it for probably a decade now. It's been virtual since COVID. Never went back because I wanted to travel more and kind of live wherever I want to live. But the point being is that I stay in touch with that group no matter what, even if I'm not there. And the way I do it is I simply use MailChimp, right? So I can track and see how many opens I'm getting from the emails that I send them. I don't spam them. They know when they get something from me, it's usually just announcing a meeting, or there is something urgent that just took effect that's going to impact their business as an investor. So my open rates are really high. They're like 40% on those emails. And I also use it for my quarterly marketing report or quarterly market report for Southern California, and that I send over to my investors and also to my sphere of past clients, right? As well, because it applies to both. I write it in a way where it applies to really anybody, any consumer or seller for that matter. Because I want to know, are people actually engaging and reading what I'm sending? It just motivates me to do an excellent job when I see that people are actually opening it. And quite honestly, my sphere open rates are at 75%, which is crazy, It's not a huge list. However, we don't need a huge list, as many of you guys know, because it's the ones that you have and nurture, like what Gary was saying, is what gives you the most dividends, right? Over and over and over again. Same with Brian, right? What does he use? His phone. He doesn't have to call 1,000 people, right? He knows who's the next client, right? They'll reach out to him most likely because he stays in touch with them as friends. So then I use Callfire. Callfire.com is a great texting service. There's many out there, but I use Callfire.com. It's about 5 cents per text. You do have to get approved to send text. Now it's a bit more challenging because of the scams that are going out there, and people using it, you know, for bad reasons. But it's not that difficult. Once you get approved with a text service, then you can send text at scale, right? So I use that. That's how I stay in front of my investors, because that's how I market. I market my mastermind through MailChimp and through text. Texts get a higher open rate always, right? Period. Like a text will not end up in spam. Like, doesn't exist. Now, someone can report me, of course, but once, or they could unsubscribe and I remove them. That's fine, but higher open rates on text. So I always do both, Callfire and MailChimp. And then for more retail oriented would be HomeBot. I got to tell you, HomeBot I've been really impressed with. For years I've been using it. And I love when I see that someone actually like updates their numbers, like because they get a client view of HomeBot, and I get a notification when someone changes their loan amount, right? Because maybe HomeBot got it wrong, or maybe they made some improvements, like whatever edits they make on their end, I get a notification, right? And I've had several deals come through my follow-up, which really is automated through HomeBot, right? Because they get a report every single month of how much the value is, what's going on in their market, how much equity they potentially have. It gives them ideas of maybe, hey, you might want to consider refinancing based on the rate that you have. So it all does it for me. I don't have to think about it. And many times I've got clients from my past clients opening that and then sending me a message through there like, hey, Randy, I would like an updated CMA that's a little bit more detailed because I believe my value is higher, or in most cases, they think it's higher, right? So they ask me for a more thorough analysis, and they do it all through HomeBot communication. So that's a really big one. It's not expensive, but it really stays in touch with an audience and gives them what they are really interested in, right? What's the value of their property at any given time? What can they do with equity if they have some? And then Wix.com, you've probably seen a version of my report of what I do on a weekly basis on my listings to my sellers. I'm going to put a version of that report in the chat. That's on Wix, guys. Anyone could do it. It's a template type website that you can then edit as you please. It's very customizable, right? So you select one simple template and then you customize it. So I've been using this one Wix template over and over and over and over again. All I do is I change the photo, the address, and then the numbers get plugged in by my VA, right? So my whole Southern California team website was built on Wix years ago. I haven't done many changes to it. It looks great. So Wix has been an amazing thing. I don't have to pay the developer thousands of dollars. Most of the younger generation can go in there. I have VAs that do some updates on the background. They can figure it out in a heartbeat, right? It's that easy to use. And then lastly, I'll finish with Facebook groups. I didn't realize how powerful a Facebook group could be. I do have a Facebook group for my mastermind investor community in Southern California. And that's another way I kind of stay in front of my audience is, MailChimp, texting, and my Facebook group. So any recordings of my masterminds I put in there so they could see it if they want to watch it back. But some of you know this, now beginning of this year, I partner with someone that launched a Facebook group that's very niched, right? And it's in an assumable market, right? And I believe we are now the largest marketplace for assumable properties between a seller and a buyer. So sellers post their assumable listings with assumable loans, and buyers post their buyer needs that they're looking for with an assumable loan. We have now over 5,000 members, and I'm sharing that, not that, you know, I can't say you're going to be able to recreate my results, but think about that, right? Because I actually seen other Facebook groups, and where realtors are successful, I believe, in Facebook groups, is they usually will start like a niche town group, and they become kind of the digital mayor of their town or their city. So that's one way how you can start leveraging something that's been around for a long time, Facebook, and then start a Facebook group that's specific to your town and city, where you can start posting, you know, events, what's going on, you know, on this weekend or that weekend, then start interviewing local business owners, posting videos in there. And you then slowly become the mayor, right? The digital mayor of that town, or could be even a community if it's a large area. So it will absolutely lead to business, guys, if it's done correctly. My group, to this day, we've referred 310 clients through it. And it's literally through a Facebook group. So, you know, I think it gets forgotten a lot because it's been overused by many, and we get almost like numb to the notifications when we get invited to groups. But if for the right niche, with the right message and the right strategy, there is people that will absolutely join your group. I'll be done there.
Okay, I think that's great. I mean, I've seen Randy's Wix in real time working. I love it. It's all a path of communication, you guys. The number one complaint that most buyers and sellers have is lack of communication. I can't even begin to share with you how many times I've left messages for luxury agents and they've never called me back. So if they're not calling me back, how are they handling luxury buyers out there, and how are they handling potential luxury sellers? That's your opening. You know, that's where you separate, and you're the difference maker for a lot of those people. You know, Mitch put it best. I'm gonna speak on behalf of Mitch because his voice, and we're sending Mitch a lot of prayers. He has an operation tomorrow on his throat, so he can get back to being a soprano in the opera, right? He had to postpone all his opera dates. But he said, keep in mind that none of this matters unless you implement it. And don't get overwhelmed. You know, take one suggestion today and put it into action. I feel, I mean, this is just my personal opinion, take action, create a budget. It doesn't have to be that expensive, and start direct mailing with calls to action. The beauty of it is, you guys, we have Brian Moses and guys like Dave Lawson. I mean, Dave is offering all of you on here, and all your friends and all the people you're connected to. He doesn't care what brokerage you're with. He's doing a complimentary negotiation class. He put the link in there. Sign up for it. It's not going to hurt you. It's going to benefit you. And guess what? It's free. I have an old saying from Boston. If it's free, it's for me. Okay? And go in there and take some notes and, you know, raise your professionalism and your level of negotiation, because every aspect of this business is a negotiation. You know, when you come into your office, you're negotiating with yourself on what your plan is and how you're going to win the day and put that intent out there. When you are in front of buyers, you're negotiating why they should work with you and how to articulate your value. When you're in front of sellers, you're negotiating on why they should use you, your services, your marketing, and how you're going to represent them the best. When you're in front of investors, you're negotiating on why they should not only buy a property from you, but they should relist it after they sell it, and why the ARV is there and how it's going to benefit them. And then you go home and you have to negotiate with your wife and your kids, and in my case, my pets and my dogs, right? So there's a lot of negotiating going on all the time. So you need a course like Dave's, and you know, he's doing it with Debbie, and she's phenomenal, you guys. So that's a no-brainer. But take one point today. You don't need to get overwhelmed by technology. Take one point, from all of these rock stars and put it into action. All right. I feel it's real marketing. That's been extremely beneficial for me. The first newsletter I sent out, this is a true story, in Nashville, where I'm developing my second team. I sent out that newsletter update to 653 houses directly. I received a call. I called that person back. I know it's shocking to actually return the call. They listed their lot of land with me for $430,000, and I double-ended that within 24 hours, and that was at 6%. So you guys can do the numbers. So that mailer cost me $845, and the return was over $26,000. Do the numbers.
Yeah.
I would do that every day of the week. Okay. And that's why I do that. You have to be consistent. It's not going to happen in one day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 quarter, 1 year. You have to be consistent. A lot of the people on here create budgets and then they execute, and they do it consistently. You know, this is a game, you guys. Are you in the game, or are you sitting on the sidelines because fear is allowing you to be complacent? Everything you want in life is just outside your comfort zone. So you just got to push and do it. That's the key. Put yourself in winning positions. Put yourself in winning opportunities. And I've said this before. In 32 years of real estate, I've never had a high-end buyer walk into my living room and buy a house. So let me repeat that. In 32 years of real estate, I've never had a high-end buyer or seller walk into my living room and buy a house or sell a house. So put yourself in winning positions by being on this mastermind each week and inviting all your friends. I don't care what company they're with. It's going to elevate your professionalism, and it's going to elevate our profession. And God knows we need to elevate it. All right. Things are changing, and either you get out in front of it and you become forward thinking, or you get swept behind. So that's the big message today. That's what I wanted. They gave me the caboose to end it, right? I'm like the guy in the back of the train driving it along, or the guy in the back of the fire engine, right? The ladder. So I think that's super important. We get some great tips here, how to use technology. The only way technology works is if you implement it. The only way that technology benefits your business is if you're consistent with it and that you put it into action. That's it. And don't overwhelm yourself. You know, the best CRM is the one you use. The best app is the one you use. So keep that in mind. And let's have a great week. Let's be successful and make money and help as many people as possible. Okay? See you guys next Thursday. Good luck this week.
Good luck, Mitch.
Yeah, good luck,
Have a good
Mitch.
day.
Good luck, Mitch.
For you, buddy. Bye.
It's a peace sign. That means he's going to be good. See you guys.
See you.